Hello everyone, welcome to Trades Talk Tuesday. I am your host, Pop Culture Mechanic. Please call me Pop for short. And in case you're new to the stream, you may have seen my gaming stream, maybe my anime chat stream. Well, this is all about the skilled trades because the first rule is always talk about what you know about. And I've been in the skilled trades for about 25 years, and I like to think I know what I'm talking about. And I'm hoping you'll join me as I try to explain to you what it means to be in the skilled trades, how to get into them, what to expect, and hopefully turn your attention to being in the skilled trades and something, if you don't have a career, maybe something you'd like to try out or pass it along to the next generation, because that's important as well. So, as I so often do, I will start this off with news of the week. And I'd go to a place called Plant Magazine for that. And it should tell us how things are doing out in industry. You can always sort of tell how the economy is going by what is going on in the news. So let's see here. Oh yes, the strike for Unifor. Let's have a look here. Unifor has set October 9th at 11:59 p.m. as the deadline for contract talks with General Motors as union leadership look to secure terms that will be accepted by both the company and union members. Negotiations between the union and U.S. automaker resumed this week after workers at Ford Motor Company of Canada voted to approve a new contract last weekend. Lana Payne, president of Unifor, has hailed the Ford contract as life-changing for workers as it makes historic wage gains and other benefit improvements. The Ford contract, however, was only ratified by 54% of workers, and skilled trades workers in Oakville and Windsor did not vote in favor, which has raised questions about how much support GM workers will give to similar terms. The skilled trades revolt at Ford will likely spill over into GM and Stellantis bargaining, said Larry Savage, chair of the Labor Studies Department at Brock University, by email. He noted that voting at Ford showed a generational divide, with workers near retirement age more likely to oppose the tentative agreement based on concerns over pension improvements. Of course, they're retiring, they want a good pension. But GM has a younger workforce demographic, in part thanks to the relatively recent hires at the company's Oshawa plant. The company shut down operations at the end of 2019 only to reopen it with many new workers in 2021. Seems convenient for the company to do that. Younger workers secured numerous improvements in the Ford contract, including upfront pay gains, a shorter path to the full pay level, and a higher wage floor. For the next generation of auto workers, this contract is a game changer, no doubt about it, said Jim Stanford, director of Center for Future Work and a past head economist at Unifor. Unifor contract talks are also happening as the United Auto Workers Union in the U.S. is also working to secure new contracts. The U.S. Union started strike action against the Detroit 3 on September 15th before expanding it last week and again on Friday. The aggressive stance of the union, both in its escalating strikes and its demands for 40% wage gains, has raised concerns from some Unifor members that their union hasn't pushed hard enough. Hey, Whoopa Troopa, nice to see ya. Welcome to you, comrade leader. We are going over strike happening in United Auto Workers. It continues on. The aggressive stance of the union, both in its escalating strikes and its demands for 40% wage gains, has raised concerns from some Unifor members that their own union hasn't pushed hard enough. But Stanford cautioned against direct comparisons with what's going on in the U.S., noting that the UAW contract spans more than 4 years, so the headline wage gain figure looks higher. He also noted that the UAW hasn't secured a contract with any guaranteed gains yet. 40% wage gains? Yeah, you should see. It's pretty crazy. There's also one where they want to get paid for 40 hours but only doing 32 hours a week. I think that's a little bit absurd. The fact that UAW strike is continuing will remind people that collective bargaining is hard and you can't take anything for granted. Still not clear yet how receptive the other two Detroit automakers will be to the terms reached with Ford, he said. Given the size of the economic gains in this agreement, it is not a foregone conclusion that either GM or Stellantis will roll over and accept it. GM has said simply that it looks forward to working with our Unifor partners to build a competitive future that also recognizes our employees' contributions to our shared success. GM talks cover about 4,300 workers at the automaker's St. Catharines powertrain plant, the Oshawa Assembly Complex, and the Woodstock Parts Distribution Center. Seems like a strike here to make sure all Americans are poor and can't afford gas cars. Yeah, probably. I was thinking that these guys would shoot themselves in the foot for that, because there's other automakers that aren't going through all that stuff with the union and all that, like Tesla, Honda, any of those other ones, any of the offshore ones, like Toyota. So we'll see what happens. Here's another headline. United Auto Workers strike spread to Chicago and Lansing as 7,000 more workers join the picket line. In a good sign for China's struggling economy, factory activity grows for the first time in 6 months. Okay, so they are doing well. I thought I saw something here. Oh, yes. U.S. expands probe into Ford engine failures to include 2 motors and nearly 709,000 vehicles. This is big here. We're getting into recall territory, I think. Detroit, U.S. auto safety investigators have expanded a probe into Ford Motor Company engine failures to include nearly 709,000 vehicles. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration also said in documents posted Monday on its website that it upgraded the investigation to an engineering analysis, a step closer to a recall. Okay, so it's almost there. The investigation now covers Ford's F-150 pickup truck, as well as Explorer, Bronco, and Edge SUVs, and Lincoln Nautilus and Aviator SUVs. All are from 2021 and 2022 model years and are equipped with 2.7-liter or 3-liter V6 turbocharged engines. Happy you have a Toyota? Yeah, a little Corolla, isn't it? I mean, they've really done very well as far as being an automaker. Toyota has done excellent. They've got their Lexus brand. They build cars that hold their value. Their trucks hold their value as well. So they've done a good job. Arsabor, hey, how you doing? Nice to see you here. Just going over what may be leading up to a recall for some Ford vehicles. It says here, the agency says that under normal driving conditions, the engines can lose power due to a catastrophic engine failure related to alleged faulty valves. Oh, great. So they cheaped out on them. The agency opened its initial investigation in May of last year after getting 3 letters from owners. Initially, the probe was looking at failure of the 2.7-liter engine on Broncos. Since then, Ford reported 861 customer complaints, warranty claims, and engine replacements, including the other models. No crashes or injuries were reported. The company told the agency in documents that defective intake valves generally fail early in a vehicle's life, and most of the failures have already happened. The company told NHTSA said that the valve design change in October of 2021. Ford said in a statement Monday it's working with the NHTSA to support the investigation. The agency says it will evaluate how often the problem happens and review the effectiveness of Ford's manufacturing improvements designed to address the problem. Yeah, you guys want more money. These guys are striking for more money, and they can't even put a good vehicle together. Can't even put a good engine together. What's the matter with you, Ford? I used to like you. What else we got here? Biden says it's good news the shutdown was averted, but blames House GOP for manufactured crisis. I'm sure if they were in the same spot, they would be pointed out as being the bad guys. I don't even know if I want to read this because it's all about freaking mush for brains down there. I don't know. It's up to you guys. I can read it if you want, but it's just politics. Ugh. Bank of Japan survey shows manufacturers optimistic about economy. So they're optimistic in Japan. That's odd. Business sentiment among big Japanese manufacturers improved in July to September for the second straight quarter, according to Central Bank survey released Monday. The GOP didn't approve my wild spending. This is unprecedented. Yeah, you got it right, Whoopa. The Bank of Japan's Tanken quarterly survey measured business sentiment among major manufacturers at +9, up from +5 in June. Sentiment among major non-manufacturers rose 4 points to +27 in the sixth consecutive quarter of improvement and the most positive result in about 3 decades. The Tanken survey, conducted every 3 months, measures corporate sentiment by subtracting the number of companies saying business conditions are negative from those replying they are positive. Tourism, which has lifted the world's third largest economy in recent years, was hit by the pandemic. Of course it was. Everything was hit by that. But incoming travelers have gradually returned to near pre-pandemic levels. The negative effects of the coup on supplies of computer chips and other key parts for manufacturers have also gradually eased, with production recovering, according to analysts. The recent cheap yen that came on top of the gradually improving supply chain is believed to have worked as a factor to brighten up sentiments among big manufacturers, said Toshiro Nagahama, chief economist at Dai-ichi Life Group. The opposing party not supporting my every move. This is a threat to democracy. That is probably a good summary of what the article would have been. Yeah, I agree. You heard it here, folks. Exclusive from Whoopa. He knows what that's all about. For non-manufacturers, the return of foreign tourists and healthy domestic tourism during the summer holidays likely boosted sentiments, he said. For the past decade, the Japanese economy has stagnated overall with slow wage increases. Another negative has been soaring energy prices due to Russia's war in Ukraine. That's tough for Japan, which imports almost all of its oil at a time when the Japanese yen is weakening. Pretty convenient they're blaming it on Russia's war with Ukraine. They could always come to Canada to get oil if they need it. So I know it's closer to do it with Russia, but I actually don't know where Japan gets their oil from. This article could just be a bunch of baloney. Anyways, but the weak yen has worked as a positive too, boosting the value of overseas earnings by exporters like Toyota and Nintendo. The dollar has been trading recently at about 149 yen, up from below 130 yen in January. For the Tanken's production of business sentiment 3 months from now, large manufacturers are expected to improvement of 1 point at +10. What the Bank of Japan will do into interest rates in coming months is being closely watched. The central bank has kept interest rates at 0 or in minus territory for years to wrest Japan out of its economic doldrums. Bank of Japan is targeting stable price rises of 2%. You got to lift up those interest rates, though. You can't keep them at 0 all the time. Japan is probably set up to mostly get oil and natural gas from Russia, you imagine? Yeah, because they're so close. It wouldn't take much, really. Same with Europe, which is what certain orange politicians tried to warn them about. Yeah. I mean, well, when they started the whole thing, when they started the war and all that, and they're like, oh, you guys better not deal with Russia, and they threatened, America threatened Europe to not deal with Russia at all. And Europe was like, well, you know what, I think we're going to do it anyway. U.S. is dumb, could drill a bunch here, but chooses not to, so they can screw us over. Yeah, do you remember back in the day when Obama was like, yeah, we're gonna make us not dependent on foreign oil? Yeah, how'd that go? Oh, right, it didn't go at all. I know I laughed when I heard him say that. Okay, well, not very packed full of news this week. Just mostly on the auto workers strike. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully those guys can pull it together. I found an article here from the Journal. It says, more apprentices could solve Alberta's skilled worker shortage. And I'm just like, duh. Yeah, that's exactly what I've been saying. Well, let's see if these geniuses can shed some light on the subject here. Advantage Education Minister Rajan Sani's recent announcement of $12.2 million for another 2,000 apprenticeships in high-demand skilled trades brings the provincial investment in apprenticeship this year to $54 million. The increased attention to the apprenticeship system is timely and important. Alberta's got a lot of building to do. In more good news, there are now 59,000 apprentices in the province, up 19% from last year. Okay, that's good. Good. Edmonton? Quit it with these made-up places. Who knows? Maybe I'm made up. Maybe I'm not even broadcasting. Maybe I'm just a figment of your imagination. But a good one, I hope. If ever there was a time that apprenticeships with its major component of on-the-job training was needed, it's now, and not just for the construction, mechanical, and service trades. Okay, well, that's an understatement. They should have been doing this like 20 years ago. It's all a Wupstutska simulation. No, he's found us out, comrades. He's all Wupstutska. Employers across Alberta find it difficult to hire people with the right combination of competencies needed to do jobs well. This is especially true for skilled jobs that do not require a diploma or degree. Even some graduates of post-secondary institutions require additional training and on-the-job learning before they can be certified as competent in their jobs. Yes, yeah, that goes without saying. You know, whoever wrote this is a friggin' genius. Just kidding. If it was a Wupstutska simulation, to be more waifus. Damn it! I wanted it to be a Wupstutska simulation. I want those waifus. You don't know what you did to your ear. Well, don't stab it with a Q-tip, that's for sure. You have to take care of your ears. You don't want to be like me and have suffer from tinnitus in one ear. It goes along. Apprenticeship-style education could be the answer for many employers if they're willing to be part of the training ecosystem and help to build their own workforce. The government of Alberta recognizes this when it brought in legislation that allows it to support apprenticeship-style learning in occupations beyond those in the designated skilled trades. Okay. You're itching the outside of your ear because of allergies, and now my ear is clogged no matter what you do. Uh-oh. Feel like an old man. Have to turn up the volume on everything. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they could be clogged. What you could do to get rid of it. This is something the other countries have been doing for years. Germany, well known for its dual education system, through which young people begin to learn the skills of their chosen occupation while in secondary school, and then go on to certify in that occupation once they graduate. A combination of classroom, on-the-job learning, and mentorship is in a wide variety of occupations, often with 1 or 2 days of vocational school and 3 to 4 days of work per week, ensures they are learning both theory and practice while they are earning. They certify in their occupation with minimal, if any, student loans. We could do that here too. It'd be very easy. You blame the earwax, your ears produce way too much. They're just an earwax machine. What do we got here? The UK offers varying levels of apprenticeships. Its higher apprenticeships offer a combination of schooling and on-the-job learning that can lead to degrees in the professions, including nursing and engineering. A robust apprenticeship levy system helps to pay for the wide-ranging and quality-focused apprenticeship programs. Almost 80% of Scotland's apprentices completed their program in 2019, outperforming England, Australia, Germany, and Canada. So this article is basically saying people will be more likely to become tradesmen if we train them. What a newsflash. Yeah, I hear you. These guys are friggin' geniuses that wrote this article. A recent push in the U.S. has resulted in a massive increase in the number of people who enter and complete apprenticeships in sectors as varied as hospitality, manufacturing, healthcare, and protection, and others. State and federal level investments enhance apprenticeship participation in programs such as California's competency-based hospitality management program, which is composed of concurrent education and 2,000 hours of on-the-job training. To ensure more apprentices finish their programs successfully, the International Labour Organization suggests it's important to foster healthy dialogue between stakeholders, provide financial support to employers, develop an efficient apprenticeship employer matching process, and set minimum wages. With a strong, well-supported system already in place, Alberta could easily become a jurisdiction that is successful in making apprenticeship-style learning and on-the-job mentorship a major component across more of the workforce development's ecosystem. There are shortages of qualified workers in healthcare, hospitality, and tourism. Manufacturing, supply chain and logistics, aviation, clean tech, and other sectors, industry-led competency-based apprenticeship-style learning programs could become the viable alternative to traditional learning, providing rapid and effective skills development to meet the needs of individuals who want to work in these sectors and the demands of employers. For this to happen, employers will need to acknowledge there is no such thing as a job-ready candidate. They already spend time orienting, training, and upskilling the people they hire. Through the province's new legislation, employers will have the opportunity to help solve their own labor shortages through the development of competency-based apprenticeship programs that offer on-the-job training and mentorship combined with formal learning for people who have the aptitude for and interest in their jobs. Okay. So pretty much start in high school, expose the younger generations, expose them to the trade, show them that it's not just all about going to university, and let them figure it out, decide, let them try it out, see if they like it. I'm guaranteed you're going to get more of them going into that. Did no one tell Canada about apprentices for the last 1,000 years? When I was going through my vocational school, my trade school, my instructor was telling me, he was telling me then, and this was back in the early 90s. This is 1994. He's like, the older tradesmen are retiring. You are going to have your pick of where to go and what you're going to get paid. He said that to the whole class. And so he saw it back in the early 90s. And I'm just fortunate that I went through that career path and decided, yeah, you know what? I'm going to be in the trades. I'm going to learn something, and I'm going to, go out there and repair equipment because that's what I like. That's what I enjoy. And I like to think I'm good at it. So anyways, that's it for that one. How would you like to see some pretty cool looking machining? Got something here.
We'll get to that in a moment.
This is called, turn it down here. So this is going to be what they call EDM, electrical discharge machining. That's not a machine, that's a person. So this is pretty neat. It uses a wire to do the machining on the material, and the cut is so close, almost electronic dance music, almost. It is so amazing how close the tolerances are. See, that thing's hopping up and down a little bit. Not sure that's why it's hopping up and down. But they're using deionized water, which is a special kind of water. And it's going to be hard to see. You'll have to wait for them to finish the machining. And we'll see what happens here.
So if you want to etch away at something, this is the tool for you. But if you want to slice through something, you need a different tool. That's where wire EDM comes in. This is one of Traveling Wire's wire EDM machines.
There you go.
Check out the link to Traveling Wire in the description for all.
You can see the wire there. It's very thin.
Not paying me to say that. So we want to cut out a little bit of this sheet of metal here. There's already a hole in the middle, so we can feed the wire through there. This jet of water helps to guide the wire.
Got to feed the wire through and connect it at the other end.
Machinery underneath grabs it. The whole thing is then submerged in water. Actually, water is only a good insulating liquid if it's free of ions. So this water is deionized. There's a machine round the back that takes tap water and this special resin. It does something with it and pumps out deionized water. Unfortunately, once the sides of the tank are up and the thing is filled with water, you really can't see what's going on. Not that it matters when you've got a brilliant cheese analogy. One big difference between the cheese wire and the EDM wire is that the EDM wire...
This is a demonstration with cheese. You're showing how it looks, how it cuts.
We go around the back, you can see it's being chopped up and spat out. That's because the wire itself erodes as well as the part you're machining. This spool here contains about 10 kilometers of brass wire. And look, there's the part now, cut out exactly how Richard here drew it.
Well, this will be really neat when he pulls that part out of there.
Also angle the wire in clever ways.
Make you nervous doing it by hand? Yeah.
And holes that have a different shape at the opening than they do at the end. You can do all sorts of cool stuff with wire EDM. But what about that second trick? Well, look, here's the first part that I showed you when it's halfway through the manufacturing process. The piston
Yes, Godzillionaire, wire EDM. I was just trying to show the guys some pretty cool stuff that's out there. No one's ever seen it before.
So the final trick is to polish or grind, really, the two parts together in situ. By grinding the two parts together in this
That surface grinded here, it looks like.
finish, the grain
Yeah, lots of electronic dance music.
seamlessly across the seam. And so it seems as though the seam can't be seen. And look, you can achieve the same thing with cheese. Even knowing how this is done, the precision is unbelievable. A typical
See that thing falling down there? That's because the tolerances are so tight that the air is being pushed, has a hard time getting pushed around it. And so it just goes very nice and easy.
never touch, so they don't perturb each other in the same way that you get with...
Needs an electronica soundtrack.
So there you go.
Why not? And then it almost looks like, look at that, it just disappears.
Joins this thing to this thing is really clever, but not in the way that you might think, and actually not in a good way. In fact, it's in an evil way. Let me explain. The mechanism is just complicated enough and just novel enough to be patentable.
That was very satisfying. Yeah, it was. What's he talking about now? Same thing? You're still doing more EDM?
Which means if you buy this handle, you can only buy blades from the same manufacturer.
Just like how it's made. Yeah, I think he did it in the beginning too.
Same thing is true for single-use coffee pods. The same thing is true from a machine.
Here, check this out.
There doesn't seem to be anything unusual about it until I push this piece out.
Look at that. Couldn't even see the seam in there.
Pushed out, it's as
And then
though
it just
there's no seam at all.
disappears.
Look at this one. This is called a
You've wasted hours on a weekend doing a How It's Made marathon.
There are actually
Such a good show.
that slide in and out.
I really enjoy it myself as well.
A small borehole. So when you push one of them down, the other one pops up. It's very satisfying. But like, how on earth is one of these things made? How can there be almost no discernible seam between these parts? Well,
Look at
most
that.
curiosities are made with a technique called wire EDM or wire electrical discharge machining. Wire
And it
EDM
just
can do all
goes
sorts of useful
boop.
things.
And
These
that's it.
curiosities aren't useful as such, but they're a good way to demonstrate the ridiculous precision of wire EDM. You may have seen other examples of this online. When I did, I became obsessed with figuring out how it was made and, more importantly, getting hold of one. There are actually a couple of really clever tricks involved in the manufacture of these invisible seams. Like when I heard that these were made by a process called wire EDM, I immediately got distracted by what I assumed that must mean. I just thought, oh, right, it's like a cheese wire. If you want to cut a circular hole, then you drag the wire across into the cheese, cut the circle, and then carefully pull the wire out. Or if you don't want this cut here, you first drill a hole in the cheese, we've all done it, feed the wire through, reattach it, and then do the cut. Another good analogy is cutting styrofoam with a hot wire. The wire melts the styrofoam.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and no tooling marks. Like,
There's a
seriously, no tooling marks.
have a cut in this part or a cut and a drill hole in this part, but neither of these seem to have those cuts. Also, look how much wriggle room there is there. That's at least 0.5 millimeter. Whereas here, there appears to be no apparent clearance. Like, how thin is this flipping wire? And actually, that's the first trick. This is actually made from two separate bits of metal. First, you cut the hole, then separately, you cut the part that goes into the hole. And you just have to make sure that you compensate for the thickness of the wire so that when one part slides
Here it goes.
together,
Here it goes.
snug fit. And actually,
Whoosh.
that's something we can see with this part because the piston was actually cut from over here. And if I put that piece back to where it was cut from, you can see the wriggle room.
Oh, okay.
Measuring with calipers, it's about 0.2 millimeters all the way around. That's consistent with the width of the wire. And look, there's that unavoidable cut line. I managed to do the same thing with the cheese, actually. Fits perfectly. Now, what about this second trick? Well, we'll get to that in a
Okay, that's EDM. That's electric discharge machining. That's awesome. I love watching that stuff. You want cheese now? Make sure you cut it with a wire. Here is something that I've personally been involved with before I started my trades career. I was a what do you call it? I worked with a burn table operator, and they used a plasma cutting machine. Next week, water jet cutting? Could be. How about plasma cutting, though, Godzilla? Try it on this guy. Plasma. Yeah. So the burn table I worked on was about 40 feet long and 12 feet wide. So we could do like full sheets and cut a lot of pieces out of it. This one looks like a smaller one than the one I'd used before. Watch out for that rooster tail, yeah? Should be okay. So the water, they bring the water up. That cuts down on the noise and on the vapors and all the smoke and everything that would come off of it. And it usually does a pretty good cut. Something you can't avoid, though, is the kerf that it leaves behind. The thicker your stuff, the stuff that you cut, the more there's an angle to it. It's not a straight down cut, not a square cut. They can compensate with that with different kind of maneuverable head on the plasma cutter. What are they doing here? There we go. That's fancy water on the table. I'm used to seeing just a grated table with sparks flying. Yeah. No, the water is much better. Like I say, cuts down on the noise, cuts down on the fumes, gases, and all that. And the one I was used to, we could cut up to about, I think it was maybe 3/4 of an inch thick. I don't think we'd go any further than that. But yeah, plasma cutter. That is, there you go, underwater plasma cutting, just like that. This is what the one I was help operating. This is what it looked like. The water should come up by itself. I mean, you usually have the operator open the valves up. The water should flood the top of the material. Once it does, you hit go, I think. Who cares about noise when the plasma table's next to the metal bandsaw? Yeah. There you go. That's a big spark. That sort of looks like the spark that I'm used to. And that looks like 1/4-inch thick material, I think. Yeah. This is how a lot of the parts are made out there in industry, for those that don't know. Oh, when I lived in the basement suite, the guy above me, we got to know each other pretty well, and he found out I worked at a steel fab shop with a plasma cutting table. So he bought a piece of aluminum and he asked me to make him a batleth from Star Trek, the weapons the Klingons use. So yeah, we took the aluminum to work there, put it on the table, got the design by floppy disk into the computer, and sure enough, managed to cut out a batleth and 2 mechleths for him. So that was pretty cool, and he really appreciated that. The last thing I wanted to look at was laser welding. Or not actually the last thing, the second to last thing. Laser welding. This is something I haven't been able to get my hands on yet. I'm interested. The ultimate cosplay tool? It would be. I don't know if it's EB, Godzillionaire. I want to see this thing in action, though. He's got 2 pieces of aluminum there. I think he's going to try to weld them together and try to break them to see how tough that weld is. So he's just showing all the parts, the spare parts he can, or the cutoffs he can use. Check out friction welding of shafts sometime. It's epic. Oh, friction welding, yeah. I've seen that where they use the lathe. Do both sides. I would have done both sides, but he just did the one side. I mean, it's a butt weld, like you're butting the stuff together. It may not be that strong. Oh, I mean, I wouldn't have used a Bessie clamp. I would have used a press. But whatever, he's using what he's got there. Yes, welding with your butt. It's where all the gases come from. Held together. Look at that. He tried to bust it. Definitely going to need a shield for that one. Yes, yes indeed. Don't get burned. That's pretty impressive. Like I say, I've never seen laser welding in person. I don't know if it puts off a lot of UV light either from the laser. Okay. That didn't look very good. Okay, so you got your filler wire. And it's just the laser that melts it looks like. That's not EB though. EB requires near vacuum, if you remember correctly. Ultra high purity weld. Okay. Ooh, that looks terrible. And make sure you get your speed and feed set correctly. That looks better. Yeah, you don't see how that's much different than MIG or TIG welding, except you don't have your glasses. Yeah. I mean, you're still using a filler material. I thought you were just using light to melt the two pieces together, like a laser, but I guess you do need some kind of filler material. Okay, there we go. Now he's putting it on a press. This is what I thought he should have done in the first place, just to show how strong it is. Just use a hydraulic press to bend the thing or break the weld if you can. He's got no shield set up there though, so if the thing breaks, it's it might snap and go all over the place. Oh, it's all hand jack too for that one. I mean, you can tap it off there and it'll come off. In my experience, it's usually the weld doesn't break. It's beside the weld that breaks. It's the material beside it. All hand jack, just like when your girlfriend is mad at you. I mean, what? The heat affected zone. Yeah, Godzilla, exactly. That's a nasty crack there, eh, Vertex? We're just showing some laser welding. So yeah, you watch this machine, Vertex. And he proved with the hydraulic press there that the weld is strong. It doesn't break. It'll bend, but it doesn't break. So that's pretty good. Just one thing here. There's one more thing I wanted to show you guys, in case you haven't seen it yet. So Vertex, I already went through electrical discharge, machining, and plasma cutting, underwater plasma cutting, and laser welding. And this last one is This is really cool. I watched this before. Laser rust removal. If you haven't seen this before, you've got to see this. Start at the beginning here. Look at that.
The handheld rust removal laser, which makes rust literally evaporate. I could not believe what I was seeing when I first came across this device.
You aren't even touching it with anything, any mechanical means. It's just removing all the oxidation.
The dirt layer and any oxides underneath will absorb the energy and evaporate. The metal underneath will not absorb the laser energy, leaving nothing but a clean surface ready for welding and painting. So how does it work? Well, the system uses short pulses of
Look at that.
laser light at 1,000 watts, producing microplasma bursts.
Yes, you don't want to sit in one place for too long, of course.
To sublimate the
Looks like make it a nice smooth.
without damaging the piece. Now, I know what you're thinking, as I wondered it myself, and the answer is no. This will not vaporize human flesh. Amazingly,
Doesn't even hurt his hand. He ran over his hand with it.
material removal is halted when the laser is applied to a clean surface because it only sublimates rust. Sublimation is the act of changing the state of metal to a gas form, skipping the liquid phase. The device can
Oh, the slot car sets. Yes, yeah, I remember those. Those were fun to play with.
leaving a
But yeah, you had to take an eraser and rub them on the contacts.
normally taken someone hours to clean and prepare for welding or painting is
Look at
now
this.
done in no time at all. What makes this laser device even better is the fact that it has an onboard hoover system that immediately sucks up the vaporized rust, making the entire rust removal process clean and simple. Unfortunately, there is a rather large drawback: the cost. This state-of-the-art device is not sitting on some retail shelf somewhere for $100. The cheapest version
This video is from 6 years ago, and he's talking about the cost of it.
that starts at
I
around
bet you we could find it now for a pretty
will set you
decent price.
$500,000. So it's fair to say that laser rust removal is probably out of the reach of most panel beaters and mechanics trying to restore cars. But I recall
Look at that.
that
Clean.
Rider drives were selling for $50,000, and it was just a few years later that we were installing them in PCs for under $1,000. So give it a few years, and I've
Doing the brake rotors there.
Anyway, that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
How expensive is it? I don't know, Godzillionaire. I really don't know. But that is amazing when I saw that. You get a laser, and it was 1,000-watt laser, a rust cleaning laser. You can always find out. How much for rust cleaning laser? The price of a 1,000-watt portable laser rust remover starts at $8,800. The price range of 1,500 watt handheld laser rust remover machine is from $9,800. So there you go. It's actually not that bad. That's what it says anyway. Probably do what you need. Or really, you could just rent it if you can't afford it. Rent one for what you need. And yeah, we have a sandblaster at work, and you know, you can avoid inhaling all the pulverized sand and all that. This thing has a built-in vacuum. It vacuums up the fumes as it cleans. I mean, that's awesome. But yes, like, look at it. I love this thing. Just eats that rust.
The handheld rust
That is great. I love that thing. It's amazing what they have out there. Stuff you don't even realize. Did you guys know It's like extreme power washing. Yeah, exactly. But did you guys know that they have transparent aluminum out there now? Do you remember Star Trek 4 when they went and searched for the whales? They had to go back in time and bring whales to the future, and they did it using transparent aluminum. They have that. They have transparent aluminum out there. Can you believe it? Yeah. Hello, computer. You might just want to type that out there, Scotty. But yeah, unbelievable. Transparent aluminum. Yeah, and the nuclear vessels. Oh, same one, Wonderworld. Same one that had the, let's have a look here.
Transparent aluminum was once pure science fiction, a technical term used in a Star Trek movie from the 80s. In the movie Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home, Captain Kirk and his team go back in time to acquire 2 whales from the past and transport them back to the future. Scotty needed some materials to make a holding tank for whales on the ship, but had no.
And he did it on a Mac too, so very impressive.
Scotty uses his knowledge of 23rd century technology and the manufacturer's computer.
Now he can make Wonder Woman's visible jet. Yeah, exactly.
The transparent aluminum molecule.
Transparent aluminum?
Which could allow the manufacturer to create aquarium tank walls 1 inch thick instead of the traditional 6 inches thick. Now the words transparent aluminum sounds like it's 100% pure see-through metal, but in actual fact it's a mix of aluminum, oxygen and nitrogen in the form of white powder. The powder then gets packed into a mold in the shape of
Power Wash Sims 2 Laser Oxide Editions. Yes, you know it.
to extreme pressure and then heated to 2000 degrees for several days. The surface of the final part comes out cloudy and has to be mechanically polished to make it optically
So
clear.
it does come out cloudy, but it has to be polished in order for you to see through it. But after that,
Fiction when you hear how it's made, but the end result is still very impressive. As transparent aluminum, which is also known as Alon, can be turned into very damage-resistant glass and can be used to make highly bullet-resistant armor for military vehicles. Transparent aluminum armor is made of.
this is the comparison between 3.7 inch thick glass and 1.6 inch thick aluminum.
The difference is a 50 caliber bullet can penetrate 6 inches of traditional bullet-resistant glass, but cannot get through about 1.5 inches of Alon armor, which means you can provide soldiers with far better protection on military vehicles.
So that 1.5 inch thick aluminum, transparent aluminum, stopped that 50 caliber bullet,
Windows on the International Space Station.
whereas the 6 inches of bulletproof glass did not.
The glass they use now, as the laminate scratches easily, which ruins the clarity of the viewports in Windows. But Alon does not need to be laminated, and it does not chip easily like glass. Transparent aluminum armor is light years ahead of glass, but it is currently
Top mannequin just got Clinton.
the bullet-resistant glass currently in use costs around $3 per square inch to produce, compared to the $10 to $15 price tag for the same size piece of transparent aluminum. As more industries switch to transparent aluminum,
Just don't call it a aluminium. I already did. What they need is transparent aluminum as windows with solar cells in them on high rises. Instant power. That's a good idea.
It will filter down to the average consumer in the form of camera lenses, eyeglasses, or the more importantly, mobile phone screens. Gone. will be
Yeah, if they made cell phone screens out of this stuff, it wouldn't crack anymore.
longer for those days. Anyway, that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Hey, that's it, eh? Transparent aluminum is a reality now. Like that's awesome. The fact that they can do that now. Where was that? They call it Alon. But yeah. Got laminated glass. And that thing, it stopped that bullet. The thinner transparent aluminum stopped that bullet way better than the other stuff. We had a chorus director in middle school that made us do this warm-up that was just repeating the phrase, aluminum linoleum, aluminum linoleum. Okay, did it help you? Was it for your elocution or your pronunciation? Make sure you weren't saying aluminium, linoleum. In the new titanium iPhones, you realize titanium is twice as heavy as aluminum, right? Oh. Really? I thought they touted titanium as being very lightweight and strong. But it's twice as heavy as aluminum? I just think we have all these cool things to see that don't get talked about enough. Stuff that's come out of the industrial world that, some of us work in. And it's obviously, a tradesman has had a hand in it. Yeah, there's engineers and such, but the tradesman is the one that has the hands on. Oh, it's lightweight compared to steel. Yeah, okay. Linoleum. I want some linoleum. I mean, what would happen? Would there be a real benefit if would there be a real benefit if the, transparent aluminum was used? Would all the people that make glass go out of business? They sure wouldn't be able to sell cell phone screens anymore. Or, if your car had it. All the only thing is if you get an accident, most people get thrown through the windshield. So if you can't break through the windshield, I mean, it could get ugly. I don't know. Check out molten salt plants for a potential future topic. Oh, you betcha, Godzillionaire. Molten salt plants. You know what I'm going to do, though, right? So I don't forget. Pen here. Molten salt. Molten salt power plants. Okay, there we go. Got that all written down. All right. Well, there you are. I mean, all these inventions that just don't get publicized enough, like transparent aluminum, or, laser welding, or the laser rust cleaning. I think that is excellent. When you can't do any kind of chemical or abrasive mechanical cleaning, I think using the laser to do that would be all right. You wouldn't want to drink from a transparent aluminum drinking cup, though? Eee. No, I mean, we don't have to have them do that, Aluminum is supposed to have an effect on the brain. So you don't ever want to ingest it, because I think it will lead to, like, meningitis and stuff like that. And or dementia or whatever. What about sharks with frickin' lasers? Yeah, can I get some sharks with frickin' lasers here? Mini-me? Is it too much to ask? I know, it's just... He had to wait for Scotty to do it. Scotty had to come along. He put freaking lasers on freaking sharks. But yes, look at that. Dementia? So I could be president? I don't understand. I just don't understand how anybody lets him stand at a podium and try to talk. It's just he goes off. It's like goes off off the rails, and just he can't even walk to where he's supposed to stand, and like he's got 90 handlers that try to make it so that he's doesn't fall up the stairs, or he stands in front of the right podium. He knows where he is. Like, did you see what he looked like when he was at the strike there with the United Auto Workers? He didn't know where he was. I thought this was going to be their excuse so that Kamala could be president. So maybe that's what they're waiting for. I don't know. Seems kind of strange that they wouldn't want somebody that's very have all their mental faculties with them. Strike 3, you're out. Yeah, he thinks he's an umpire at a baseball game. You guys are strike 3. You're out of here. Mr. President, these are the workers. Well, workers, the bourgeoisie, you unite, and then you only got to lose is your chains. They want Gavin Patrick Bateman Newsom next. No, come on. The guy from California? They want that clown to be the next president? If you're a Democrat, you already don't have your mental faculties. Yeah. I mean, wow, it's how far they've fallen as far as just general, smarts or intelligence, anything like that. If you look back to Kennedy and all that, those guys, they were eloquent. They could, keep up a conversation. They didn't need to be handled as much. It was just a better time, actually. The education system was much better. People were, a lot more happy. The family unit stuck together. It was the nuclear family. Things were good. Now with this breakdown of society, it's just not going well at all. We're having a whole generation of ignoramuses is pretty much what it comes down to. A whole generation of kids that are just happy that they're stupid. So it's sad. Very sad. Which is why I come on here every week and tell everyone, get into the trades, learn something, have a skill. Skill you can keep with you for the rest of your life. The ability to fix things, that's a big one. You can fix things, you are a step ahead of a lot of other people. Yeah, when a family could have the father work, mother stay home with kids, and you have enough money on a single income to own a home and cars. And I came from that family. Father worked, mother stayed home, watched the kids. And that's the way it was. Single income, had 2 cars. It was exactly the way I came, the way I grew up. And it was perfectly fine. There was nothing wrong with that. And that was the 70s, 80s. Yeah. It's sad the way things have gone, really. But yeah, I hope I can extol the virtues to people about being in the trades. I hope they think about it. They want to do something with their lives. All the young people, consider it, because it can only get better for you. All of us, all the tradesmen, we're heading into our retirement years now. I know I am. It's going to be another 15 years, and then I'm going to retire. So, we need people to fill in our spots and learn from us while you can. Because once we're gone, that's it. There goes all the knowledge. There goes all the experience that you could have passed on, and there's not going to be anybody. So you have to help yourself, and companies have to learn that they need to hire apprentices. It's like, do that. Hire apprentices, make a spot for them on the roster or on your in your human resources. Get them to make a new position or a new opening for an apprentice, and your business will flow smoothly rather than panicking and having to pay exorbitant prices for contractors. You're looking forward to that consulting money in retirement? I could do that too. That would be all right. Set your own hours, consulting. People need you to come in. You're like, oh yeah, I can do this, and then get paid good money, and then off you go. You don't have to get your hands dirty. You just tell them what to do. Oh yeah, do this and this and this, and in this order, and you'll be fine. And then here's my money, and then you're good. But yeah, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna keep talking every Tuesday, and I'm gonna keep telling people all about the trades. This is Trades Talk number 48. I got 2 more to go, and then I hit 50. Amazing! It's been 50 or almost 50 episodes of Trades Talk. Wow! I gotta get more people on here too. More interviews with people in the trades. Got to do that too. Got to kick my butt in gear and get that happening. Retirement boats ain't cheap. That's right. You want a good one too. I'd get one of those pontoon ones, a nice cover over it, or an awning. You know what I mean? You can hang out underneath there and stay out of the sun so you don't get baked. Have the old fishing rod out, or just a little snooze on the deck. That'd be great. A little bit of bobbing from the waves. Yeah, that's the life right there. Anyway, I'm going to start wrapping her up here, guys. I am very glad that you all came out. If you can do me a favor and just slap the old like button. All right, tell your friends, spread the word. Tell them about good old Pop here on Tuesdays. There's other good channels out there too. People like Pacific 4 and 4 and Blaine's Escape Corner, who is streaming right now as we speak. Ronan66, DJ Ronnie G. There's Brandon the Anime Guy, the Nerdporeal Lifeform, Angry Canadian. Our own Whoopa's out there. Hoping he gets back into streaming soon too. And Punk Waddle, who can be found at Floral Under a Rock and his own YouTube channel. I got a Discord. It's called The Shop because all the tradesmen hang out at the shop. Coming up Saturday, that will be game day, and that game is Castlevania 2 Redacted. So it's an improvement over the original Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest, and I am really enjoying it. I'm hoping to finish that up. Looks like I'm getting close. I've collected all the body parts. Now I just gotta find his Dracula's castle and burn them all and summon him. And then we'll see what happens. Sunday is Anime Chat. And October's theme for Anime Chat is cosplay. So we will be watching and reviewing some shows, some anime shows that deal with cosplay. It's a fun time. Really good. I watched one of the shows, and it grabbed me so much I watched all 12 episodes. It was great. Castlevania 2, Electric Boogaloo. Yeah, it is. It's even more fun when it's done right, translated properly, and the transitions from night to day are sped up, so you don't have to wait. And then we circle back again to Tuesday, another Trades Talk Tuesday. Next episode is number 49. I hope you guys will join me then, and we can have a great time looking at stuff going on in industry, all the labor unrest that's going on with United Auto Workers. We can see whether there's any more articles in newspapers about the shortage of the skilled trades, and maybe have a peek on YouTube at some of these videos with these very awesome machines that we saw today. And I must say, those machines, I mean, they need to get more press. People need to know more about them, that they're out there. So yes, until next time, everyone, I hope to see you on Saturday. I've been Pop, and I am signing off.